Okay, we're starting off with a basic sugar cookie recipe, and I'm going to go through some of the ingredients. First, we're going to start off with 2¼ cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm putting that into a big metal bowl. To that, I'm adding a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then I'm just going to whisk that together to make sure it's well combined. And then I'm going to set that aside. And now we're going to do our wet ingredients. In a stand mixer, I'm adding 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, left at room temperature. I'm going to put that on low to medium speed, just so that it combines and it creams the butter. And then I'm going to add 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. And I'll let that combine for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once combined, I lift and I scrape the sides of the bowl. Sometimes the sugar collects either on the sides or on the bottom. Once that's combined, I'm adding 1 large egg, also at room temperature. Two teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and always try to get the best quality vanilla possible. Once that's well combined, now I'm going to add the dry ingredients. Spoon by spoon, slowly, until it's all well combined. So now the dough is combined, I'm going to divide it in half and chill it for about 1 to 2 hours, but I put it in a Ziploc bag. I like using Ziploc, they're reusable, and it definitely serves the purpose. So into the refrigerator. Then on a well-floured surface, I like using Silpats. You can use parchment paper. I dust the dough, I flour my rolling pin, and I roll out the dough so that when I cut the cookies, I don't have to transfer them. I could just leave them on the parchment paper or on the Silpat. And you can see the dough, even though it's been chilled, is quite soft. So the less you handle the dough, the better. I try to roll out the dough as even as possible to about 1/4 inch thick. A little more flour. And then I put it on a tray, and I put the tray in the refrigerator. I cut the cookies out. These are 3½ inch diameters. Bake them at 350 for 10 to 12 minutes, and then I cool completely on a wire rack. Now you could use royal icing to decorate these cookies. I chose fondant instead. The reason I chose fondant is because it has a super flat, smooth surface, which makes it really easy to paint. So I cut out the fondant and I attached the fondant to the cookies once they were cooled with royal icing. And then I simply use food gel to paint, and I treat it the same way you would treat watercolor. I map out my design and I carefully paint each cookie. And in this case, 12 cookies, 12 days of Christmas.